2015, and sent to the Star Ledger and Home News Tribune in compliance with the provisions of the Open Public Meetings Law of New Jersey. Roll call.
Councilman Questa, Councilman Grover, Councilwoman Perkins Dusty, Councilman Torres.
Here.
Councilman Canary.
Here.
Councilman Sedan.
Here.
Councilman Ballmer.
Here.
Councilman Mazza.
Here.
President Gonzalez.
Here, 6 members of council present. Public speaking, any taxpayer resident wishing to address the city council? Please, I'd like to recognize Councilman Cuesta.
Thank you.
Please state your name and address for the records.
Raul Sosa, 226 Gordon Street, Roselle, New Jersey.
Okay. 226 Roselle Street?
Roselle, yes.
Roselle Street?
No, sorry, Gordon Street, Roselle, New Jersey.
Oh, I'm sorry. Garden Street, Roselle.
Garden Street.
Yes.
I'd like to know if we can do something about the Hoover, because besides that, also I know the city renewal have increased and put police officer over the terminal B and C, and all these people come to our terminal. We have no protection. If you can do it, or change this is a personal request. If they increase, evaluation of the ticket, the amount, and we can do something like that similar. This is a personal opinion. I don't know, that's because I don't supposed to be here, but I can. Okay, that's what I have maybe a misconnection with or something else. Are you Wendy? Oh, no.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Anything else?
No, about the month.
Well, just so you know, we've had several members of the taxi community come in and speak with us several meetings ago. And our inspectors have been out there ticketing them, one. And the other thing is tonight, we're going to be reviewing a draft of an ordinance to address that.
All right.
We're going to be our first review tonight of that
All right.
ordinance.
Thank you very
To
much.
address the, yes. We're going to be looking at an ordinance tonight, so that this way we can put it in place.
All right. Thank you very much.
Okay? Just so you'll know, all right? Any other taxpayer resident wishing to address city council? Once again, any other taxpayer resident wishing to address city council? Seeing none, I close the public hearing portion of the meeting. We'll move on to agenda items.
Letter dated April 1st, 2016, from the Assistant Business Administrator recommending awarding a contract to FeedCore Technology Operating Company, LLC, doing business as Fuelman, Norcross, Georgia, for the furnishing of motor fuel usage and billing system for various departments for a period of 2 years in an amount not to exceed $1,900,000.
Comments? Put it up.
Letter dated April 1st, 2016, from the Assistant Business Administrator requesting authorization for the proper city officials to participate in a state contract with SHI International, Somerset, New Jersey, for the purchase of maintenance of LawSoft, Police Computer Aided Dispatch Records Management System software, GIS, ABL mobile and mapping system for the police department at a total cost of $76,201.46.
Any comments? Put it up.
Letter dated April 1st, 2016, from the Assistant Business Administrator recommending awarding respective contracts to Navy Veteran Printing Corp. Elizabeth and Logomania Inc., Jersey City, for the furnishing of printing services from the date of the award to February 8, 2018, in an amount not to exceed $20,000 per year for both vendors.
Any comments? Put it up.
Letter dated April 4th, 2016, from the Assistant Business Administrator, requesting authorization for the proper city officials to enter into agreements for professional on-call traffic engineering services for the city of Elizabeth with T&M Associates, Middletown, New Jersey, in an amount not to exceed $45,000, and to Klein Traffic Consulting LLC, West Orange, New Jersey, in an amount not to exceed $15,000 for the period of April 10, 2016 through April 9, 2017.
Any comments? Put it on.
Letter dated April 4, 2016, from the Assistant Business Administrator requesting authorization for the proper city officials to participate in a state contract with Patrol PC, North Attleboro, Massachusetts, for 6 computers.
I'd like to recognize Councilwoman Perkins Dusty.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. For 6 computers and accessories for police patrol cars at a cost of $34,962.
Any comments? Yes, put it on.
Letter dated April 4, 2016, from the Assistant Business Administrator recommending awarding respective contracts to WB Mason Company, Secaucus, New Jersey, for purchasing general office supplies, including toner and cartridges, and the Office Concept Group, Midland Park, New Jersey, for the purchase of furniture, accessories, and electronics for all departments and divisions through the Somerset County Co-op for the period April 1, 2016 through February 22nd, 2017, at a cost not to exceed $250,000.
Any comments?
Yeah,
Councilman?
can you make sure that this includes the folks over in the fire headquarters, the civilians, the ladies who are secretaries? Can you make sure they need updated equipment that's included?
Of course.
Okay, thanks. That's all. Thank you.
They just requested, they just put in a large order.
Is that included in this order? Would that be included in this?
No, I don't, no, that would just be, as part of a regular order.
So it's separate?
Yeah,
So it's gone through? Did we vote?
I know, I saw it, this week.
Okay, then I'll just check with you.
I'll double check
Okay.
it, but I know they put in a big order and they wanted to rush.
Right, that's what I'm,
Yeah.
okay, that's what I was.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's already in the system,
okay, okay,
so.
thanks.
Any other comments? All right, put it on.
Letter dated March 22nd, 2016, from the city attorney requesting to amend the resolution adopted February 23rd, 2016, authorizing settlement of the workers' compensation matter, Nicole Matos versus City of Elizabeth, in the amount of $11,440.50, specifically to reflect the corrected settlement amount, which is $11,682.74.
Any comments? Put it on.
Letter dated March 31st, 2016, from the city attorney pursuant to the request of city council, enclosed is a draft ordinance regulating PNC companies. Uber for your review.
Okay, this is the draft ordinance for the transportation network companies, better known as Uber, that we've been waiting for. The law department and the chief license inspector both have looked at it. I spoke to the chief license inspector as well about it, and is in agreement with it. And he is ready to move on this if you want to move on it.
Can we put it on, if that's an agreement?
What I'd like to do is put it on, and if there's any questions or anything, please reach out to me or reach out to Ray Bowanowski. Yeah, Councilman Mazza.
What actually we did, what actually we did with changing the present ordinance that we have, and we having additional steps. We have nothing on the books,
We have nothing on the book. We're establishing a chapter.
and we compare this with which city?
With which city?
Yeah.
Well, we did get something from Newark,
Right.
and
So
we
we
took a
go-
look at that. And we took a look at our ordinance in terms of the taxi cabs.
Right.
And it was put together so that it mirrors what the taxi owners have to do. And what the requirements are for them.
And this will go for a reading, what, 3 times, twice?
Twice.
Before we adopt?
2 readings.
2 readings. So in case there's any comments or any changes that needs to be made, we could always do that, right? Or do we have to call the law department?
You mean from here to next
to the
Tuesday?
next final reading. Let's say this gets posted where, or people get to read it and they find out there's someplace pertaining, let's say, capacity or whatever, how many people they are allowed to bring, etc. Comparing to Newark, it might be different to that. How do we go,
No, we did it based on the standards of the taxi cabs. And
okay,
again, it's very the same as the taxi cabs.
Mr. President?
Yes.
Just so I could be clear, so this is pretty much going to require all the Uber drivers the same type of standard compared to the
Yes.
taxi drivers in Elizabeth?
That's correct. They have to come in and they have to register and they have to get insurance and they have to do background checks and
Fingerprints.
everything, yeah.
Insurance.
It's a requirement to do it.
I believe there's actually another group called Likes or Links.
Lift.
Lyft? And will they have to follow the same protocol?
They would have to follow the same under this. This covers all of them. Again, this is
Okay.
transportation network companies and they fall under that.
So it's not saying Uber or things, it's saying anyone who's trying to act like that type of,
Operation.
operation, thank you, Councilman, that they would have to follow the strict,
Yes.
the same strict.
The
guidelines, yeah.
Right.
And if they don't,
If
Well,
you
then
can,
in the
they
licensing
take his
department, they can
license,
go
yeah,
after
they go after them, they
Mhm.
bring them to court, they fine them,
Right.
everything.
And this would be also would apply like to the dollar pad, well, people that use their own vehicles up and down Elizabeth Ave.
Anything
too,
that-
anything.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That, Mr. President?
Yes.
That's what I was trying to find, is there's a fine if they don't comply with this? That's what
Now,
I'm trying,
at the end, you'll see a
the
fine, I
end?
believe it's $12.50 for the first offense,
that's what I'm looking
and every
at.
subsequent offense.
Last page,
Yes, so
and subsequent.
it says penalty,
last page?
Yes.
yeah, one
Yeah, that's
thousand,
what-
$1,250
Okay,
for the
oh,
first.
okay.
that was increased, right?
Yeah, it was,
Right.
it was, yeah,
Yeah.
you're right. And then each additional is the same amount.
Yes,
So
I
you
see it
can
now.
hit-
Okay.
hit here for 25.
Okay, that's what I'm looking for. I wanted to see if there was a fine, just in case they didn't comply. So at least we got that. Okay, good. Okay.
And it has the same requirements, they have to keep the vehicles, they
Yes.
have to come be inspected, not only by motor vehicles,
Mhm.
but by our inspectors as well, so.
Okay, let's do it.
And once again, it mirrors
Right, let's do
the
it.
taxi cab
Let's
ordinance.
do it,
Okay,
let's do it.
Okay.
We gotta put it on.
Yeah, let's do it, yeah. Let's go.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll put it on?
Yep, let's go.
Right. I want to thank the law
Thanks,
department
Brad. Yeah,
and-
thanks,
and
Brad.
also the chief licensing inspector who put a lot of time into
Yeah.
I know
this
they
with the
work.
law department. They work together and I
Yeah.
think they did a really nice
Yeah,
job.
let's do it. We need this. Yep.
Okay, put it on.
Good job, Mr. President.
Thank you.
Letter dated March 14, 2016, from Chief Financial Officer, requesting authorization for the tax collector to cancel the remaining tax principal balance on state of New Jersey property located at 616, 624 Trenton Avenue in the amount of $6,330.98 for the 2013 tax year.
Any comments?
Good enough.
All right, put it on.
Letter dated April 5th, 2016, from Chief Financial Officer, advising that additional grants may be appropriated in the 2016 state fiscal year budget by budget amendment, Chapter 159.
Any comments? Put it on.
Letter dated April 5th, 2016, from Chief Financial Officer, advising that in compliance with state fiscal year 2016 Appropriations Act requires that your honorable body approve all payments related to accumulated uncompensated absence benefits.
Any comments? Put it on.
Letter dated April 5th, 2016, from the Chief Financial Officer, reporting the results of the recent sale on March 23rd, 2016, of $13,020,000 bond anticipation notes, Series 2016, consisting of $3,550,000 sewer utility bond anticipation notes and $9,470,000 in general capital bond anticipation notes and $600,000 special emergency notes, Series 2016.
Any comments? Put it on.
Mr. President, can you go to the one before that we just did about uncompensated benefits?
Mhm.
Why do we do this every month? Just about, don't we approve
Because if we need to put one on, then this will allow us to do that.
on a
And
monthly
they-
basis?
Yeah, at every meeting, and then if they get one, they'll send it to us for the next meeting,
Thank you.
and we'll have it. Okay, the attorney just advised me, it's part of the best practices toolkit as well.
Letter dated April 5th, 2016, from Chief Financial Officer, reporting the results of the recent sale on March 30th, 2016, of $650,000 to sewer utility bond anticipation notes, Series 2016.
Any comments? Put it on.
Letter dated April 5th, 2016, from Chief Financial Officer, is requesting the fiscal year 2016 dedication by rider to the municipal budget for donations, acceptance of requests, and gifts from the Get Fit Day for All Ages Donations Fund.
Any comments? Put it on.
Letter dated April 5th, 2016, from Chief Financial Officer, recommending the tax abatement property located at 620 First Avenue be returned to the tax rolls pursuant to City Council approval.
Any comments?
Yeah, can we just hold off on this to see what's going on? Because if we do this and then the rates will automatically go up, because we don't, so long under the abatement. So we need to see how many families are gonna be affected. Thank you.
We'll hold it,
Yeah,
so-
the resolution. The address in Ray is the same, but the resolutions are different. Okay,
Which one is this one for?
600,
Which one is this one for?
620.
620.
Bring it two, right?
Oh, yeah, one is the seniors.
Right.
This is the senior, definitely the seniors. And the both of them, can you do the same? Just hold them off until you see what's going on.
The same for
Okay.
600 for me.
So you're holding both of them?
Yeah, because it's gonna, it's gonna increase the rents immediately
For
when you
the-
do
for the,
this,
uh,
right?
For the kids?
You wanna see Mr. Zangaro, I guess?
Yeah.
You will let me know? Okay.
Thank you.
Letter dated April 5th, 2016, from the Chief Financial Officer advising that in compliance with the State Fiscal Year 2016 Appropriations Act, requires that your honorable body discuss the city's completed 2016 State Fiscal Year Best Practices Inventory at a public meeting. City Clerk will complete the 2016 State Fiscal Year Best Practices Public Meeting Certification Form and submit same to the Department of Community Affairs. The city will receive 100% of state aid.
Any comments? We do this every year. Yeah.
Letter dated March 29, 2016, from the city treasurer on behalf of Dengo Enterprises LLC, the successful bidder for the tax sales certificates for the properties located at 45 part of 57 South Front Street, 23-43 South Front Street, and part of 57-63 South Front Street, is requesting authorization to extend the date by which final judgment must be recorded to June 10, 2018.
Alright, help me out. Somebody help me out. This, the auction was back in May of 2014. Someone help me?
Here it was a sign that said.
Yeah. And it's like taking 2 years. We still haven't closed on it. Is that what I'm reading? Is that what's going on?
Well, it sounds like it.
Yep.
Councilman, this is in your board. I hope you don't mind me asking these questions.
What is
Okay,
it
I'm
saying
sorry.
here?
But what's happening, Rocco? I'm sorry. George, I'm so sorry.
I'm not completely sure. I know that this is a Superfund site.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, it's the chemical control
Right.
site, but I don't really know what this specific resolution is about. I can find out and let you know. I know that this is from Paul Lesniak's office, not from our office.
It's the tax, from the tax,
Yeah.
No, the last paragraph just states that it must be reported by a period of 2 years.
Yeah. And apparently there are ongoing negotiations with DEP.
We know they're renewing their permits and we're giving them an alternate route to come to the city. We don't want chemical trucks actually coming on First Street.
Mm-hmm.
And I know the county just voted on that, but this right here,
What is your pleasure?
this is not time sensitive.
Yeah, they extend it, they wanna extend it till June tenth, so it sounds like we have some time to
We have a
get.
couple months.
Looks like Rocco is the
Paid
one that's
everything, but
on the memo for this, so I can have him get back to you
I
guys.
was right before you, Rocco.
You're asking the right person, you just happens to know.
So, Councilman, Councilwoman, you wanna hold
Got
up?
the right name.
Okay.
I'll
Wrong
reach out to
person.
Rocco tomorrow.
What are we doing?
And they wanna hold it?
So you're gonna look into it for us?
Can you get back to us?
Yeah,
Okay,
I'll talk to Rocco.
all right, we'll put that one on hold.
Thank you.
Yes, can you put that meeting, right? Councilman,
Yeah,
just let me know.
absolutely.
Okay. There's a letter dated March 23rd, 2016, from the municipal clerk to Chief Financial Officer reporting the results of the sale of city-owned property held on March 22nd, 2016, and authorized acceptance of said bids.
Don't remind me. Any comments?
I was
alone.
having dreams that night.
Yeah.
Totally property.
Gotta put it on.
Letter dated April 5th, 2016, from the Director of Health and Human Services requesting that City Council consider authorizing the submission and acceptance of funds, if awarded, from the Office of Minority Health for the Reentry Community Linkage Grant in the amount of $375,000 a year for 5 years to establish a health and social network for clients who are ages 18 to 26 returning from jail, not prison.
Any comments? I think this would be great. I hope we can get the grants. That would be excellent. Some of these people come out of jail, give them a second chance. Put it on.
Letter dated April 5th, 2016, from the Director of Health and Human Services requesting to amend Chapter 6.4 entitled Dogs and Other Animals, specifically to establish regulations on the tethering of animals and prohibitions on leaving animals outdoors in certain circumstances.
Okay, once again, this is another one that,
Thank you,
came
Mr.
to us and
President.
we've been working on. And I need to thank, the law department as well as Health and Human Services, Krishna, and the health official also who were involved with this and helping put this together to not only address the anti-tethering, but also the extreme temperatures for animals that are left outside.
Great.
So, any questions, comments?
Put it on.
Okay. Put it on.
Letter dated March 18, 2016, from the rent regulation representative of the Fair Rental Housing Board, requesting that your honorable body consider the approval of the transfer of Mariva Arcuri from landlord or managers for residential dwellings to owner of 1 or 2 family homes, and Jose Nunez from alternate landlord or manager for residential dwellings to landlord representative.
Any comments?
Mr. President,
Yes, Councilman Gomes.
with the teetering with the dogs,
Yes.
unless they miss it, there's no fine, or if you fail to,
It's my understanding that the fine is already in the chapter.
Oh, it is?
Just amending things in the chapter.
okay, do we know what that is, Georgie, though?
I don't know offhand, no, but I can find out.
Could you find out for just a slide that, should bring it to the next, when we have our, next
Yeah,
week
you
meeting?
can let us know.
Yeah,
Thank
just, yeah, just good. I'm just concerned about the fine. This is good. I'm just, if nobody comply with it, what do they do? They just say, hey, throw your hands up in the air.
It's
Okay.
already fine.
Can we get a copy of that ordinance that indicates what's the fine, and if it's not sufficient enough, maybe we could
Didn't you just
increase?
the fine?
I believe that it's probably the general penalty, which was just recently increased, but I'll double check.
Yeah, just
Thank
bring
you,
it.
Joe.
If you'd like, I can
Surprise.
print out
Right,
the entire
a copy
ordinance.
of each.
Thank you, George. Thank you.
Yeah, Councilman Salinas?
I just have one question. I don't know if this was considered. I know according to the ordinance, the extreme temperature is anything that drops under 32. But there's certain breeds of dogs that, I
understand that, and
I mean,
that's something.
like huskies, I mean, they love, like.
That is something we understand, and we
Yeah.
actually talked to our vets and the ASPCA, and the reason that 32 was the temperature that they gave us is that it has less to do with the actual freezing to death and more to do with their inability to have water. If it's below 32 degrees, it'll be ice and they won't have access to water and they could die from dehydration.
Okay.
So it's less about freezing to death.
Okay, sounds good. I was
Yeah,
just
so
curious.
that was the same question that we had.
Yeah,
And,
okay.
and Huskies is exactly what came up, so.
Sounds good, thank you.
All right, very well. All right, we'll move on.
Okay. Letter dated April 4, 2016, from the Director of Planning and Community Development, requesting authorization for the proper city officials to extend the contract till August 31st, 2016 with Prestige Environmental, Inc., Somerset, New Jersey, to assess the quality of soil and underground water to facilitate construction of a firehouse at 661, 663 South Broad Street, not to exceed $14,545.
All right, we want to see that moving. We want to see that going. Any comments? All right, put it on.
Letter dated March 31st, 2016, from the Director of Public Works, recommending awarding a contract to Saparo, Inc., Saddlebrook, New Jersey, for the traffic signal improvements on East Jersey Street at Madison Avenue and Anna Street at Jackson Avenue and Monroe Avenue, at a cost of $894,938.
Any comments?
Just happy to see it happen in the spring. Long time coming, so,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, we need that improvement, especially at Jackson and Anna Street. Excuse me. Thank you.
Okay, put it on.
Letter dated March 22nd, 2016, from the Director of Recreation, requesting authorization from your honorable body to accept a donation from the Trust for Public Land to install a fitness zone at Carteret.
Yes, we've been working with this.
What is this?
Hey, they've given us
What is
the
this?
equipment.
I gotta look into
It's
this.
a philanthropic group and,
Can we look into this?
hey, it's free. We want people to be healthy and think healthy.
Good job,
So they go to the park with their kids, they can, do some exercise while the
Yeah,
kids are around.
good job.
Yeah, put it on.
Good job.
Letter dated March 15, 2016, from the Police Director, requesting to delete handicap parking spaces at 475 Walnut Street, 43 Atlantic Street, 565 Pennsylvania Avenue, 844 Livingston Street, and 450 Third Avenue.
Now, who doesn't want these taken out?
Matter of fact, I called in about 475 Walnut Street today, and
Oh, yeah?
I knew the guy had moved, and I go by there and see the sign there.
Well, you work fast.
Yeah, I'm fast, man, I don't mess around, you know what I mean?
All right, put it on.
Letter dated March 23, 2016, from the Police Director, requesting to establish handicap parking spaces. First Ward, 121 Franklin Street, personalized.
Put it on.
6th Ward, 623 Franklin Street.
Put them on.
Okay, deletions, 850 Martin Street, 146 Franklin Street, 441A Livingston Street, 17 Sayre Street, 1030 Sheridan Avenue.
All right, put them on.
Also, Councilman Torres has requested 163 Livingston Street and 136 Franklin Street. Letter dated March 31st, 2016, from the Police Director requesting authorization to the Park City officials to apply, accept, and sign all appropriate documents for the Click It or Ticket 2016 statewide seatbelt enforcement mobilization grant from May 23rd, 2016 through June 5th, 2016, in the amount of $5,000.
Any comments? Put it on.
Memo dated April 4, 2016, from the city engineer on behalf of Torcom Inc., Red Bank, New Jersey, requesting an encroachment permit to install a temporary construction fence and pedestrian detour signage within the right-of-way of Pulaski Street, Clinton Street, and Cole Place.
Yeah, put it on. That's for that new school that they're gonna build over there, so. Put it on.
Letter dated March 15, 2016, from the Peruvians for Progress, Inc., Elizabeth, requesting permission to host a Peruvian festival to be held Sunday, July 24, 2016, from 12 noon to 8 p.m. with a rain date for Sunday, August 14, 2016, from First Street and Elizabeth Avenue to Front Street and Marshall Street, and Veterans Memorial Park.
Any comments? All right, put it on.
We're coming up for Youth Day, scheduled for May 24, 2016, with the chairman.
Chairman being Councilman Questa.
Yes, may I answer any questions you may have? We're ready, we're prepared.
The government, May 24th.
May 24.
May 24th, as the city government.
When? Oh, I have to decide where? Oh, no, I have no idea. What is it, May 22nd?
24th.
24.
And we have to decide where? I thought I took care of it. I had the speaker, I had the priest, now I have to decide where? Okay. What's that? I have no idea.
Don't forget the kids.
Okay.
Most important.
Yeah.
May 24th.
Okay, there's a commendation requested by Councilman Grove for Christina McNeil, 100 years old.
Oh.
Yeah, no one has? All right, I talked to you guys there, so that's not in there. Also, in your packet, you have a letter dated March 18 from Fair Rental Housing Board. Their minutes of February 17, 2016. And that's it.
That's it.
Oh, and then I've given everyone another copy of the memorial
Or the revised one with the input from
critique and add any,
revised.
anything you want. I'll give it to you.
Hopefully,
Thank you.
hopefully this will do it. We did have one other, that I did want to pass around. And this is, I brought this up a couple of weeks back, the ordinance and the handicap. For people who have handicap spaces, but they're holding spaces in the street for others and not using their handicap. Well, we were able to get a copy of the ordinance from Carney, and the counselor has put something together for us. So I'd like to pass it down so everybody can look at it. And since Councilman Goldman brought it up last meeting,
Oh, yeah.
it just so happened he had that issue come up right after.
Want me to have it?
Text you.
Thank you.
George, can we remove a handicap if someone has a driveway, like there?
I don't know, but I can look into that. Are you talking about personalized or?
Just if he's a homeowner and he has a driveway, I'm coming across with some of them having handicaps in front of their house, so that they take up 2 parking spots.
They're not supposed to. If you have a driveway, you're not supposed to get a.
And if they do, that's what I'm asking, can we remove it?
Yes, you can.
Is it
You
a
just found out
two-family
this
house?
is-
Because if it's a tenant, that's not allowed to park in the driveway. It's the only law.
Yeah, if it's a tenant, if he's a homeowner,
Yeah.
The only time that I can recall that they allow a handicap with a driveway, and it's, the owner has the handicap in front, if the driveway is too narrow.
Too narrow.
Right.
Yeah, it's too narrow.
You get a chance to look at it. I mean, the 3 main things with this is the parking space within a radius of 200 feet of the perimeter of the tax lot of the individual's residence, the fine of $100, and the personal handicapped parking space designation shall be revoked, and the individual shall not be eligible to apply for another designation pursuant to this chapter for a period of 2 years. Those are the 3 main things about this.
Mr. President, I'm assuming that this would be sent a letter to everyone that's currently a holder of a handicap.
Well, this is just for you to look at. I'm still waiting for the traffic to get back to us and give us their feedback on it.
Okay.
Yeah, all right. So you can hold on to this, we'll be looking at this again. But I just want to point out, those are the main things of this right now. And again, whatever feedback we get from traffic on it.
Okay.
Okay.
I think I think this is a start. And certainly, and once we adopt it, naturally enforcement is how we're gonna be able to enforce it. That's really kind of concern. You know, make sure that we can enforce it. You know?
Yeah.
In no sense making an adopting the ordinance and doesn't be enforced. You know?
Yeah, it'll give the neighbors and residents at least something that they have that they can complain if we get enough complaints about somebody who's doing that on a regular
Yeah,
basis.
exactly.
You know?
Certainly I know you have, so I have.
Yeah, over the years I've gotten those complaints.
Yeah, I've received quite a few calls about it, you know, so. And,
Okay, that's all I have. We'll do the once around, Councilman Torres.
Thank you, Mr. President. Your Honor, can we write another letter to the Department of Transportation? I'm having a lot of complaints for tractor trailers riding down First Street. Randy had this issue when he was a councilman down there. For local deliveries, that we understand, but these people are trying to not pay certain tolls, so they're coming down like either Trumbull Street or relocated Bay when you're using First Street as a corridor. Next is April's Autism Month, so I would like to recognize Ileana Chavez. She runs the Elizabeth Parent Support Group. We had an autism walk this past weekend, which was wonderful. Everyone came out. So I would like to recognize her. I also would like to recognize the PBA president, Richard, what's his last name? Stanky. PBA treasurer Joseph McDonough, Dare officer Ina Perez, and Detective Paul Pasternak. They actually have a jingle bell run every year. So I'd like to also give their information. And last but not least, everyone should have a flyer in their packet. April 23rd, we are recognizing Todd Bowles. We are going to rename the Front Street Waterfront Park after him. It's going to be called Todd Bowles Waterfront Sports Complex. Here's an individual who was born and raised downtown, grew up in House and Authority projects, which was Pioneer Homes at the time. Faced many obstacles, was able to go to college, receive a higher education, walked on with the Washington Redskins, won a Super Bowl, and now is the head coach for the New York Jets. So this is our way of saying thank you and welcome home. So I'm hoping everyone can attend. That's it, Mr. President. Thank you.
Councilman Padilla?
Yes.
Councilman Gold?
Pass.
Councilman Mazza?
Yeah, I would like to have 2 additional handicap signs to go up, 23 DR Place. Brenda Scavino, a reserved parking space. I put them on hold about a month ago. Ilda Kayapuri, Cajacuri, 231 Nile Street, personalized.
What was that number?
231 Nile Street. Was also put on hold a couple of months ago, maybe.
Okay.
And then I'd like to have a Public Works Department to replace the sign that says children, and also a speed sign that was removed when they did the construction a couple of months ago, was never placed back. The sign is actually in the alleyway on the ground between 631, 632 Third Avenue. I saw the people that did the job. I told them, when are you gonna put the sign? They were laughing.
631, 633 Third Avenue?
631, 633 Third Avenue, right. And right across from my property anyway. And the children's sign and, you know, and also the speed sign needs to go up.
Speed limit
Right,
sign.
because I know it's right before the park. You want me to give the state to you, Yolanda?
Yeah.
It just says children or children at play.
Well, there was a picture of a child in yellow,
Okay.
and then there was like the speed sign too.
Okay.
Anything else, Councilman?
And that's it. Thank you.
Councilman Quest?
Yes, Mr. President. Mr. President, I would like a commendation for John Moretti, retired supervisor from Elizabeth. Amilcar or Mickey Colon. I think everybody knows who he is by now. And Carlos Gonzalez. They're going to be recognized on May 6th by Elizabeth's Promise, together with about 30 students. That number may increase, I'm sure it will. And I would like to present this commendation at our last meeting in April. Briefly, I want to say about Carlos Gonzalez. Probably most of you never heard his name, but Carlos Gonzalez was a student from Lisbon High School, and he presently performs in Broadway, and he will be recognized that evening as well. Thank you, Mr. President.
Sure.
Is that okay with you?
Information you can share with.
Yes, I would definitely have to give her, is that okay with you to do it on the, our last meeting in April?
Sure, absolutely.
Okay. Thank you.
Anything else, Councilman?
That's it.
No. Councilman Salinas?
I just want to comment also with Carlos Gonzalez. Actually, I just saw him on Broadway last week. My wife and I went to see him and to support him, and he's doing an excellent job. So I'm really excited that you brought that up too. I wanted to know, does the city have any intention or trying to get more of the stop signs with the blinking lights?
I know that there was a grant that we had
Yeah, it's a
applied
grant.
for, and we were applying for it again, but I don't know.
I don't know how
if
far
we've
it
gotten
is.
any-
I had
Yeah.
requested way back when.
I just wasn't sure if we were in the process of trying to.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't know
we
how
can
far.
find out. Did you find out, Marie?
Yeah.
For us?
Yeah, it was a grant.
There's a grant.
So I don't know if it.
But I did request it.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah,
Because
back, way back when we
everyone
did it again, because
Probably didn't get it, I'm thinking.
I also wanted to bring up, it was in the paper how also like the state is gonna mandate the city to reevaluate the assessed value on the properties. I just wanted to know like if there's any other input from the process from the cities, and because it said that it has to be done by 2017.
By
Just wasn't
November 2017. It's my understanding that we have 90 days in which to begin, and the administration is looking at it. And
Okay.
we intend to use all 90 days and figure out what to do next and how to approach it.
Okay, great. And my last thing, I wanted to do a commendation for the animal shelter, for Mr. Grady and Tim, like those that work there, just with all the help that they do for the community. So just wanted to bring that up as well.
So you want to do a commendation for them?
Yeah.
And
It's
who
a-
was the other gentleman?
And Tim,
And Tim?
because mainly,
Or all the.
yeah, pretty much, yeah, the department, yeah.
Department, yeah.
Okay.
Just because in many ways, a lot of times people focus on the negative things, but in reality, they do a lot of things to help the community and to help the animals and everything, so.
Is that council?
Yes, thank you.
Councilwoman?
Yeah, I was asked by the Union County, the student special services social worker there to do a accommodation for Autism Awareness Month. And so here's your sample. I'm gonna probably have the person come up, see if they're available to come up next Tuesday, or the last Tuesday of the month to receive them. Okay. Thank you.
Anything else, Councilman?
No.
That's it? Okay, motion to adjourn?
Okay.
Meeting adjourned.